mình review chút xíu nữa rồi thầy ru vô mấy bạn nói chuyện với thầy nha. Thầy ru vô rồi thầy bạn nói chuyện, sau đó là ờ, bạn nào muốn kiểm tra trước thì kiểm, còn không thì mình ôn nữa rồi bữa sau mình kiểm.
Cô ơi, kiểm tra giữa kỳ hả cô?
Ôn chưa?
Kiểm tra giữa kỳ hả cô?
Ôn chưa? Ôn có bài cô đưa chưa? Hả? Ôn chưa? Bây giờ mình ôn là một lần nữa nha. Rồi cô có hẹn thầy lúc 19 giờ là thầy vô nói chuyện với bạn như đã hẹn đó, như đã hứa với lớp đó. Sau khi nói chuyện với thầy một chút xíu thì bạn ôn nữa, hoặc là bạn muốn viết trong test thì bạn bạn kiểm trước, còn không thì thứ tư nha. Sao không được? Cô gửi cho Quyết rồi cô gửi cho thầy Trung rồi mà, gửi trước lễ á.
Dạ em chưa nhận được ngay cô ơi.
Vậy là bạn hỏi lại hai thầy đó đó. Cô gửi cho thầy Trung với thầy Quyết đó cái file này nè.
Nhiều lúc
Thầy
cô
có
gửi
gửi rồi cô ơi.
hai thầy không gửi cô ơi.
Thầy gửi midterm rồi mà.
Gửi rồi nè, cái file này nè, có một file duy nhất thôi à, không có nhiều cho nên không có lộn đâu. Có chưa? Nhận ra nó không?
Dạ chưa gửi cô ơi.
Vậy là thầy Quyết chưa gửi, còn thầy Trung gửi rồi phải không?
Mọi người kiểm tra lại tin nhắn, thầy có gửi rồi, em có check thấy gửi tin nhắn tin nhóm cái đấy cô.
Ừ. Các bạn liên hệ với hai thầy á, có gì gửi cho thầy thôi chứ cô đâu có biết gửi cho ai ha.
Dạ
Rồi
dạ.
nếu mà chưa có nhận được thì cô gửi lại, nhưng mà cô gửi rồi đó. Okay, we have two parts in our test: midterm test and final test. Okay, part one is a minimal pair, and part two you will read the whole passage. Your intonation marks will be rated as the following criteria, including fluency, intonation, linking sounds, and accuracy. Yeah, who can read again one more time? Mình đang review cho nên mấy bạn nhanh chóng đọc lại giùm cô. Lướt qua những cái part trong từng test này ha. Để chút thầy vào mình nói chuyện với thầy một chút nha, thầy vào đúng giờ lắm. Nguyễn Quang Chí nè, đọc nè. Nguyễn Quang Chí đọc nè. Cô gửi file là cô gửi file PPT và file cô đọc nha. Giờ bạn đọc thực hành chứ cô đâu có đọc nữa, tại vì cô đọc cô gửi qua video rồi. Practice please. Bạn nào đọc có mặt ngay đây đọc đi mấy bạn, để cô nghe bạn ơi. Cô không có đọc nữa tại vì cô đã luyện rồi, cô gửi video rồi, cô đâu có đọc nữa làm chi. Cô vào đây là nghe mấy bạn review đó, để chút thầy vào 19 giờ là thầy vào rồi.
Dạ thưa
Chút
cô
nữa
em đọc.
chút thầy vào mấy bạn mở camera ra nha. Cô mời là thầy đồng ý rồi, mình sẽ lịch sự một cái là mở camera ra. Bạn nào mở được thì mở, bạn nào không mở được thì mới là không mở thôi nha. Rồi, let's read.
Dạ thưa cô em đọc ạ.
Rồi bạn tập trung đọc nha, bắt đầu ha.
Dạ. Sound 1, sound 2. It's a youthful pink. It's a youthful pink. Pen. Pen, please. Pen, please. Look at the yellow pear. Look at the yellow pear. It's an old cup. It's an old cup. What's a lively pup? What's a lively pup? Do you like puppy? Do you like puppy?
You need to speed up because you read so slowly and you let the sounds in on the top. First and then you read the sentence. Yeah. Mình đọc thiếu hai âm ở trên đó bạn. Nha. Thứ hai là mình đọc nhanh lên. Nha, mình đọc hơi chậm quá nha. It's a useful pen. It's a useful pen. Ben please. Ben please. Look at the yellow pear. Look at the yellow bear. It's an old cap. It's an old cap. What a lively pup. What a lively pup. Do you like puppy? Do you like puppy? Đọc nhanh lên và đọc ở mức độ là không bị dấp, mức độ vừa phải nhưng mà đừng có quá chậm nha. Rồi giờ Quỳnh Như đọc đoạn này nè. Mình đọc lướt qua rồi, bữa nay mình review lướt qua tại vì cô đã gửi video rồi bạn ôn ở nhà rồi.
Dạ thưa cô em đọc thử cô.
Yeah.
Part 2, Basic. Who is the name of the top 10 enterprises paying the most tax in Vietnam in 2021? Deputy General Director of the General Department of Taxation Phi Văn Tuấn has just announced the list of 1,000 largest corporate income taxpayers in 2021, the 1,000, of which the military industry and telecommunications group Viettel is the one paying the largest corporate income tax. Largest tax ranked number 1.
Có chữ là mình điều chỉnh lại cái âm nó vừa chữ large làm giờ cho nên mình nói là largest nha, largest chứ không phải là largest. Ok.
Dạ con.
Mình cũng đọc nhanh lên nữa nha, mình đọc cái chỗ nào mà cần nhấn trọng âm chẳng hạn như chỗ deputy nè, chỗ now verb adjective adverb đó là bạn sẽ put the stress more, read more strongly and more slowly. Yeah. What is the name of the top 10 enterprises paying the most tax in Vietnam? Taxation Phi Văn Tuấn have just announced a list of 1,000 largest corporate income taxpayers in 2021, or the 1,000, of which military industry and telecommunication group Viettel is the one paying the largest corporate income tax, largest tax rank number 1. Rồi, Quỳnh qua test 2 nha. Mỹ Linh nè.
Dạ, em đọc theo bản luôn cô. Dạ. You too, you do, you send the emails, you send the emails. Is the red card hers? Is the red card hers? Can he write well? Can he write well? Do the rain smell? Do the train meals? Is there a trunk outside? Is there a trunk outside?
Vậy là mình dắt cái chỗ gì? Chỗ chữ smell ở bên phải đó ha.
Dạ.
Smell. Thứ hai là chỗ chữ câu 3 là mình đọc là is chứ không có is nha. Is.
Yeah. Part 2, Cases. VinFast starts supporting electric scooter battery replacement and recalling. Cái đó đọc sao?
1/3.
1/3 of sold electric cars to replace sensors. VinFast has just announced that it will start the battery exchange service from November 2022 for 3 main models: Ludo, Impact, and Clara S. Specifically, VinFast shared that's because the number of people using these devices is still low. It has to switch battery rental. In addition, it also wants to develop in battery retention segment.
Nha. Tử số và mẫu số là mình đọc từ số tử số á, phần trên á là mình sẽ đọc là số đếm, còn phần dưới mình sẽ đọc là số thứ tự, và từ mẫu tử số thứ hai trở đi á, số 2 trở đi á thì mình sẽ thêm s sau cái tử số. Vậy hà mình có 2/3 đi, đây không phải là 1/3, là 2/3 thì chỗ 1 to 2/3 này nó sẽ thêm s vô đó. Minimal pair, bạn này đọc good hết á, chỉ có cái phần là nhị trùng âm là bạn phải chú ý nhiều hơn thôi. Đây là share that be first. Những cái nhị trùng âm á là mình đọc chưa có clear thôi, mấy chỗ khác là ok hết. Replace, shared because. Test 3. Who can read test 3? Bạn nào được test 3 được nè. G. It's a hairy coat. It's a hairy goat. He's got a lovely curl. He's got a lovely girl. It's a brilliant class. It's a brilliant class. She's got a strong back. She's got a strong back. It's growing. It's growing. Bạn đọc là xu hướng là bạn đọc rõ nha. Clear. Part 2, passage. We have got the free time is the content words, loves, bicycling, hours, office. First, you need to decide which word belongs to the content word so that you can read them more slowly and more strongly. Really. Like the third line have got weekends, bicycle rides, the 4 words, miles, home. Đầu tiên để đọc cái đoạn 2 á, là bạn phải xác định những cái từ nội dung và những cái từ truyền nghĩa đó, noun, verbs, adjective, adverb, để mà mình có thể đọc rõ hơn, chậm hơn và đọc mạnh hơn, nhấn trọng âm mạnh hơn. Ok. Home, arise, hours, on day, friends, bicycle, ride, bicycle, doctor, healthy, strong, legs. Mình xác định xong rồi bắt đầu mình đọc nha. We have to raise your pitch and sometimes reduce your pitch in order to show your intonation. Lúc bạn đọc là bạn phải có cái phần âm vực của bạn phải lên giọng xuống giọng để có thể hiện cái ngữ điệu và thể hiện được cái nội dung trọng tâm trong cái câu đọc của bạn. Câu 1 là mình sẽ có nhấn trọng âm ở chỗ là chữ bicycling nha, chữ loves, chữ free time thì lúc mình đọc sẽ như thế này ha. In his free time, Jeff loves to go bicycling. Câu 2 là mình sẽ nhấn trọng về our office, wants và exercise là mình sẽ đọc như thế này ha. After many hours in the office, he wants exercise. Câu kế tiếp là mình sẽ chú trọng về weekends, goes, bicycle, long bicycle rides. So you say, so on weekends she goes for long bicycle rides. He works, kế tiếp là mình sẽ có nhấn trọng âm works miles home. So you read, he works just a few miles from home. Đó là cái phần quan sát mắt của bạn nó phải linh hoạt. Bạn đọc từ trước là bạn phải nhìn cái từ kế tiếp vậy, bạn không có bị dấp và không có bị ngập ngừng nhá, không có bị pause, không có bị hesitate giữa chừng. Mình phải chờ tới có dấu mình mới thể tạm dừng được. Ok. Kế tiếp bạn sẽ có là write hours, write all day. So we say sometimes he write for a few hours and sometimes he writes all day. Yeah. And the next sentence will be focused on the words like friends, bicycle. So we read, some of his friends also ride bicycles. Cô chỉ nhắc các bạn là nhắc lớp đó là những cái âm tiết mà trong một từ đó là mình đừng có ngập ngừng, mình phải đọc liên tục luôn. Chẳng hạn chữ bicycle nó có 3 âm tiết, I, bicycle thì mình phải đọc liên tục bicycles. Mình đừng có ngập ngừng với các âm tiết, nó rất là thể hiện là mình đọc không có lưu loát thành thạo nha. They often ride the bicycle together. Rồi câu cuối là mình sẽ nhấn trọng âm với doctor, chef, healthy, strong legs. So we say the doctor says chef is very healthy and has very strong legs. Và sau đó là bạn sẽ đọc lại nguyên bài nhé. In his free time, chef loves to go bicycling. After many hours in the office, he wants exercise. So on weekends, he goes for long bicycle rides. He works just for a few miles from home. Sometimes he rides for a few hours and sometimes he rides all day. Some of his friends also ride bicycles. They often ride their bicycles together. The doctor says chef is very healthy and has very strong legs. Mình đọc lại vậy đó là mình ok cho nên là hổng rày là mình đã thấy cái video là bạn phải luyện ở nhà nhiều rồi. Bữa nay mình vô mình luyện lại nữa thôi. Test 4. Who can read test 4? Sure and sure.
Friendship.
Yeah. So we say sure. We like chips. We like chips. This is a sheep farm. This is a sheep farm. It's a cherry trifle. It's a cherry trifle. I buy this shop. I buy this shop.
See the screen? No?
Yes.
No?
Yes.
Okay. I thought I'm speaking to the wall. Okay. So a little bit of introduction about myself, right? For those of you who are, can you hear me?
Yes, we can
Can
hear
you hear
you.
me? Okay. for those of you who are seeing me for the first time, right? I'm just going to introduce myself.
Hồi trước này có châm cứu rồi đúng không?
Okay.
Mới lần đầu tiên hả? Thì giờ giải thích luôn nè. Châm cứu là cái vùng mặt mà cái vùng nó nhạy cảm. Yeah.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, we're so sorry about that.
Okay. 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 My name is Jude. I'm from Malaysia. I'm a business and also an English lecturer at Mekong University. Okay, so I take care of Malaysia, Singapore, Ho Chi Minh, and now I take care of Wen Long also. Okay, so if you have any questions that you'd like to ask me, please feel free to do so. Okay, Teacher Trúc and myself are here to clear Okay. Okay. Miss An,
Yes,
do you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. So, yeah, hello, teacher Jules.
Yes,
My name is
yes.
An. I'm 34 years old, and actually I'm a nurse, but I'm a lecturer of nursing. I'm a lecturer of nursing in the nursing school. So, yeah, my school required of the like standard level English for our lecturers. So I try to improve my English skills. So that's the reason I participate in this course and try to improve my English skills, and maybe it will be useful for my career. So yes, nice to meet you.
We need you to come to Mekong University and teach the pharmaceutical class.
Yeah, I hope that. So thank you.
Don't worry, I will recommend you personally.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, what do you like about the English language?
The best thing that I like when I teach or I talk in it, that I can, the first thing that it helped me to like and find the like the information easy, especially in the medical area. So I can easy to sort out the information that I need for something for my job. And the second thing that I feel confident when I can speak English, even though when I meet some foreign people, or even though when I work with my children, if they come from another country. So with English, I can feel like confident, and it's helped me show my abilities. So I love English.
Okay, what do you dislike about the English language? What do you don't like about the English language?
I don't know, but the way that in Vietnamese teach English, that they always focus a lot of grammar. So in my opinion, with the like the learner about the English, so I spent nearly like 12 years to study a grammar, and after I graduate a high school level, I cannot speak anything. So after that, I changed the way to learn. So that means it's not that grammar is not good, but the way that Vietnamese deliver the grammar is not well also. So with my opinion, I don't like grammar also, but I like listening and speaking.
Okay, if I give you 0 to 10 on your English proficiency, how would you rate yourself?
Maybe a 6, maybe a 6th level. Yeah.
6, I don't think so.
I'm not sure, because I just take the IELTS examination and I just get points, 6 points. So I think that
Okay.
this is my level at that time. So I think that.
Okay, I agree. How do you think Vietnamese students can improve on the language?
You mentioned the way that student can improve their English skill.
Yes.
I don't know, in the past that we have a lot of barriers to improve the English skill, but nowadays that with the develop of the high technology, so the like young generation can have a lot of way to can improve their skill. Also, they can like even though they can easy to use it to watch the interesting movie, or they can get the friends with the like foreign friends easy for a lot of like application, for example, Skype or maybe Facebook or Yellow. So they have a lot of friends with the foreign French, and even they have the chance to learn abroad also. So I think that is Vietnamese student now have a lot of opportunity to learn and to improve their English skill also.
Okay, what are some of the barriers that you have in the past?
The barrier for Vietnamese student, I think that is also occurred with the student in the remote area, that they cannot access with the center language, even though just learn in the school, so maybe don't have the chance to practice, so they don't have the chance to meet foreign people like you to talk, and they cannot with confidence, so they just like write and remember. So that I think that is the most common barriers for Vietnamese student.
Do you think the Ministry of Education should emphasize more English in primary school or high school?
Yeah, that is my wish. I wish that my student, my daughter can be accessed with the new program on the English, because they just the teacher and the school just give them the keyword, like the word, then they copy and pass, and they cannot to spelling well, or even though cannot to pronunciation well. So I think that the Ministry of the Education have to be looked back and look the quality of the high school student after graduated. What should they do with their English level at that time? So I think that is really interesting, that when Ministry of Health had they has the responsibility for that, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure now at that time now. But when I study in the university, the way that a teacher teach me English is better. So that's the reason I improve when I study, even though it's just a medical university, but my level English is best. And now I just tell with my student that after I just get 5 point in the exam to pass the high school examination. So I just like at that time my level English is just like above the minimum level. So I think that's we have to be change the program for students.
I agree. For the last 6 years that I've been in Vietnam, I'm still wondering why the English teacher at high school run away when they see me. They don't want to come and talk to me.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody? Anyone? Next? Hello? Hello? Is it me you're looking for? Next. Okay. The problem, the main problem with Vietnamese students speaking English is most of them, almost 95% of them, they only speak English in the 2 hours or 3 hours class that they have in a week. The moment they go home to their family, they speak Vietnamese. When they go and meet their friends, they speak Vietnamese. When they go to work, when they meet their colleague, they also speak Vietnamese. And the biggest obstacle is when they go and watch an English movie in the theater, they read the Vietnamese subtitle below. So basically, they don't have an English speaking environment. A biggest complaint. But when I provide them with an English speaking environment, they run away. You see, now I come to attend this English class together with Miss Truk. Okay, and I thank you for her invitation. But I don't find anyone really interested in speaking English. Okay, I think
just turn on the camera and talk with the teachers, please.
yeah, I think the biggest obstacle is the fear of making mistake, the fear of wrong pronunciation, the fear, the not so confident in speaking English. Okay, the feeling. So I think the more you speak, the better you will be. All right, I share with a lot of students. All right, in the 1990s, I spent 5 years in Japan. I worked in Japan for 5 years in the 1990s. I speak very fluent Japanese. But today, 30 years later, because I did not practice my language skill, I don't have a Japanese speaking friends or Japanese speaking environment. I forgot almost 90% of my Japanese language. Totally forgot. All right. Although I can understand when people speak Japanese, but I cannot converse. I cannot communicate in Japanese anymore. So English is a language. If you don't practice, if you don't speak, eventually you will lose the skill to speak English. Okay? Okay, so who want to introduce yourself next, please? Or I will keep the class until midnight, okay? Until I find at least 10 people who introduce themselves. Miss Truk can go home. The rest of the students will stay until midnight with me. Okay, so I have already one student, Miss Ann, already introduced herself. I need another 9 more. Okay, Miss Truk, sorry, I keep your class until midnight today.
Can I ask you a question, Teacher
Yes,
Shu?
yes, sure.
During the time you come to Vietnam until now, what is the biggest challenge when you communicate with Vietnamese students and people?
Okay, the challenge is two-way. Okay, I also have the same challenge as any Vietnamese student. The answer is pronunciation. When I study Tiếng Việt, okay, some of the words, when I say in a lower tone and in a higher tone, the same word have 2 different meanings. Similarly, in English, if you don't pronounce the word properly, if you don't articulate the word properly, if you don't stress the word properly, others may not be able to understand what you are trying to say. There will be a lot of misunderstandings. All right. I speak very good English, but until today, I still don't understand the English of a Scottish gentleman, someone who comes from Scotland. All right. Countries like Canada, UK, and US, they all speak English, but they all speak different English. They use different words for different objects, different items. Sometimes you are not able to understand, because if you study in a UK university, then you will not be able to understand a Canadian English or a US English, or worse still, a Scottish English. But these are all people who speak English. This is all their first language. But you still have problem trying to understand. All right? When I ask a student about their English program, they tell me, no problem. They don't say no problem. They always say no problem. The PR is disappear. No problem. So pronunciation becomes very important, right? Some Vietnamese, when they pronounce blood, they pronounce as blood. I think, Miss An, you are in the pharmacy, you are in the medical line, you know many Vietnamese pronounce blood as blood, not blood.
Blood pressure, just blood pressure.
Blood pressure, yeah.
It's not blood pressure, yes.
Yeah, and then colleague become college, or island become Island. Where did you go? I went to An Binh Island. Huh? Where is An Binh Island? Then they write for me, oh, An Binh Island. Okay. Because this is how they have been speaking for a long time. So we need to change. We need to change the way we pronounce, the way we move our lips, and we need to pronounce loudly. Okay? Learn how to speak to the mirror. The mirror is the best object to teach you how to improve your English. All right? Don't worry if people call you crazy. Doesn't matter. But speak to the mirror. You can see the movement of your mouth, all right, when you talk to the mirror. Okay? Miss Gian, thank you for switching on your video. Can you introduce yourself? Thank you very much. Hello, Miss Ngọc Nhan.
So sorry, I forgot to turn on my my mic.
Okay.
My mic.
Okay, I need another 8 more for midnight. Okay, introduce yourself. Thank you.
My name is Giang, and I'm 24 years old. I'm a researcher, and I'm working in Institute of Applied Material Science. And that's all. I don't know.
Don't know? Okay. What do you like about the English language?
I like the English language because it's the international language. So if I have good, if I have a good English, I can communicate with the other and with the people around the world, and it is useful for my career. Because I'm a researcher, I can read the newspaper and research of the scientists around the world. Yeah.
Okay. What do you don't like about the English language?
At this time, I don't. I have no dislike about the English.
You like everything about English?
Yeah.
You
because
don't.
It's useful.
You don't dislike anything?
The English is not. It's not. I think, in my opinion, it's useful. Then the thing I don't like in English is about myself. I'm not good in speaking, so I'm afraid to talking with a foreigner. Oh, you taking a picture?
Never mind. It's okay.
Oh.
Okay. What do you don't dislike about the English language?
It's I don't. I think it's about myself because I'm not good in English language, so that I'm afraid. I'm afraid of English. Yeah.
Okay, if you are given a chance to tell me about your English proficiency between 0 to 10, how would you rate yourself?
I think it's 4.
4?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you think you can improve your language further?
I think there's many ways to improve English because the internet is popular and we can reach many platforms. Just the YouTube, you can see so many clip in the YouTube. Is useful to improve the pronunciation or the listening skill or speaking skill also.
Okay. Okay, let me let me tell you why we need to learn English. All right, let me give you a few reasons. Anybody want to introduce yourself before I move on? Hello? Anybody there? No? Okay, let me give you some of the reason why you need to learn English. Okay? Okay. Firstly, I would like to share with you the 5 steps to improve your English. Okay? If you have the time, all right, I would like to see you follow an interesting series or drama, okay, and learn how people converse in English, how people communicate in English, the words that they use to speak the language. Okay? Speak more English with your colleagues, with your friends, with your family, because among your friends and colleagues, there will also be people who can speak English but are shy to speak English, like you. So when you speak to them, you will find that you have something in common with them in trying to improve the language. All right? Set a daily number of word goal. All right? Simple words, starting with simple words. 10 words a day. Morning, afternoon, evening, night, thank you, goodbye. All right? Just 10 simple words. Every day, if you have 10 simple words in 1 year, you will have 3,650 words, English words. All right? Start with simple words first, words that you commonly use every day. All right? And then go to the more difficult one and more difficult one. And finally, you find that you can use words that that others are not using. All right? And in a way, you can also improve your English. All right? Read daily newspaper, not Vietnamese newspaper, but English newspaper. All right? Read some magazines and write down sentences that interest you. Okay? And find those meaning of those sentences. Try to translate them to Vietnamese so that you can understand the sentence better. Okay? Any questions so far? Hello? I know you all are tired after the Monday work, huh? The start of the week. I understand. I also feel the same. Okay, we are all human beings, not robots. Okay. When we learn English, especially in Vietnam, where we may have a lot of foreign investors, we have better job opportunities. All right. I know furniture making factory supervisor in Ho Chi Minh City. 20 years ago, he was a furniture making company supervisor. Today, he is the regional director of Asia Pacific. You know why? Because he started to work for a Vietnamese furniture making company. 15 years ago, a Thai company wanted to join venture with this Vietnamese company. They want somebody who can do a presentation in English. And in this furniture making company, this person is the only one who can speak English. So today he takes care of Thailand and takes care of Vietnam and takes care of other small factories around ASEAN. The only reason why he had a better opportunity was because he could speak English during that time. Okay, so if you can speak English, basically you become more employable in many countries of the world. Okay, English is the most commonly used language for foreign language speaker. Okay, a lot of countries use English, but anyone knows what is the language that is most number one spoken language in the world? What is the number one spoken language in the world?
It's English.
Chinese.
Chinese, Mandarin. All right. Nearly 2 billion people out of the 8 billion people in the world speak Mandarin. All right. So Mandarin is the number one spoken language. But for business, the most spoken language is English, number one. Okay. Number one business language is English. And number one most spoken language is Mandarin. Okay, so there's a difference. Okay. Okay, the US lead the world in many ways because of technical innovation and economic development, because English is used in many of these fields, especially if you are doing research, you are doing your PhD, you want to publish a journal, you want to write a thesis, you need to write in English. If you write in Vietnamese, nobody going to read it. Okay, except for the Vietnamese people. Any questions so far? Everybody okay?
Yes,
Anybody
yes,
got?
not yet question now.
Okay.
Teacher?
Anybody gone to sleep? No? Okay. Okay. English will open the door in the US. Okay. Notwithstanding whether you are Vietnamese, whether you are Indian, whether you are Indonesian, doesn't matter. As long as you can speak good English, all right, you will be treated equally. Okay, English is the most commonly spoken, especially in the Commonwealth. All right, countries that have been under the rule of the British, they all speak English. Okay. Okay, English is the language of science. Okay, just Miss Ann earlier mentioned. All right, to study medicine, to study pharmaceutical, to study nursing. All right, English becomes very important. Okay. Yeah, English is the language of the film industry, but unfortunately, Vietnamese film goers always read the Vietnamese subtitle below. But they go to the theater to watch English movie. Anybody disagree? Everybody agree, right? All right. Many Vietnamese like to watch English movie, but read the subtitle below. I know. My students also tell me the same. Okay. Okay. If you want to use the internet, you must know English. If you want to use Facebook, you must know English. All right. If you want to use the social media, you must know English, because every program in the internet, in the website, is written in English. Okay. Don't depend on the translation. Sometimes the translation is wrong. Okay. So don't press translation and then try to interpret the translation. You may have the wrong interpretation. Okay. Okay. When you are in business, you need to speak English. All right. I've met people who are CEO and managing directors in Vietnamese big companies. They all speak very good English because they know that English is the language of business. Okay. If you want to venture out, you need to speak English. If you want to introduce your product to foreign country, you need to speak English. Okay. Yes, you can earn more money, all right, especially in Vietnam. All right, if you work for a Vietnamese company compared with if you work for a multinational company, the salary is much, much more. Okay. If you work in a Vietnamese high school, compared with if you work in a foreign private school, you know that the salary is much, much more, much, much more. Okay. So English will help you to earn more money. Okay. Unlike the Vietnamese alphabet, all right, where you have 3 A's and the Y is a E, all right. In English, the A is a A, the B is a B. No A, ba, ba, ke, no, no, ba, ke, no. Okay. The Y is a Y, not an E. Okay. The K is a K, not a K. Okay. So it's very simple. Okay. A to Z. That's all. Okay. English is a language of building global relationship. All right. Whenever I go to the airport, I see a lot of Vietnamese traveling abroad. All right. Some of them with their foreign partners or friends, and they speak English so well. So I'm happy for Vietnam because many people in Vietnam are starting to speak good English. Okay, maybe it will take another 10 years or 15 years, but we will get there. Okay, it takes some time. You can travel around the world more easily with English. Okay, this is a known fact. Yes, many parents who can speak English don't use English at home to speak to their children. I don't know the reason why, all right? But many parents, when I speak to them, they can speak fairly good English. But when I ask them whether they speak English at home with their children, they always say not so much. All right. I think it is good for parents to speak to their children in English. So you train them when they are still very young. You need to make them love the language for them to move to learn more English. Okay. If they don't learn the language, if they find that the language is difficult, chances are they don't want to study this language because it is difficult. Okay. Okay. Any question? No? Either you understand what I've told you so far, or you don't understand anything. That's why there is no question.
Okay, before my student education, I can have a question first.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, I just hear my student inform that they would like to practice English, but what a pity that in the Mekong Delta, Vietnam, for example, Vĩnh Long province now, it's very hard for them to look for a foreigner or a native speaker to practice English with. So how can they find someone who can speak English with them?
Like I mentioned earlier, there are a lot of people in Vietnam, especially in the Vĩnh Long province, who can speak English. The problem is the fear of speaking English.
Yeah, the fear.
All right. If you cannot overcome the fear, chances are you will not find a like-minded person who wants to speak English. All right. I'm very, very sure you have friends and colleagues who can speak English, but they are more comfortable to speak to you in Vietnamese rather than English. Try to talk to them in English. Try. And then you find that your English and their English will also improve. All right. They are helping you and you are helping them. So it is a two-way traffic. It is not a one-way. All right. The more you overcome your fear, the better you become.
Yeah.
Right?
Many students in the class right now, they cannot overcome their fear. So they cannot open the camera to talk with teacher Jules right now.
Like when I was in Ho Chi Minh City the last 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, as an examiner for the second degree English, I have nearly 300 students. Out of the 300 students, more than 250 students can speak English. Can speak English, not can't speak English, can speak English. But when I ask them one question, how much English do you use per week? They have no answer for me. They only complain that they don't have an English speaking environment. Okay. When I was in Ho Chi Minh for 4 years, I don't need to speak Tiếng Việt. I don't need, because everywhere I go, people can speak English, from the shop attendant to the restaurant, to the hotel, to the airport. Everybody can speak English. More than 90% of the people who live in Ho Chi Minh can speak English. But when I came to Vĩnh Long a year ago, I had to study Tiếng Việt because more than 90% in Vĩnh Long cannot speak English. All right. When I go to the shop to buy something, I have to do a lot of dancing with the auntie at the shop, because she doesn't understand what I'm trying to tell her, what I want to buy. All right. I have to do Cambodian dance. I have to do Indian dance. I have to do Vietnamese dance. I have to do English dance before she can understand what I want from her. Okay. Because 90% in Vĩnh Long cannot speak English. It's not my fault. Okay. Luckily, we have Google Translate. Okay. Even with Google Translate, sometimes she also don't understand. But when I dance, then she understands. Okay. So, okay. So today, I think Miss Teacher Trúc shared with me that today's topic is about pronunciation, correct? Yes, no? Students?
It's a pronunciation.
Okay, today's topic is about pronunciation. So I'm going to share with you why pronunciation is important. Okay? Okay, can you see the slide?
Yes.
Okay.
But you make a slideshow is better, because I think it's little bit small.
Oh, okay. Okay, okay, let me just share with you. I think Miss Truk, Teacher Truk already shared with you most of the points on pronunciation. I just share a little bit. Okay, I just want to add a little bit on this topic. Okay, in the English speaking environment, there are 3 different levels of English. One is people often don't understand what you want to say because your English does not sound good. All right. The sound that comes out of your mouth is wrong. Similarly, when I want to say mua in Tiếng Việt, right, it can mean that I want to buy something or I'm talking about the rain. Right? So whether when I say it high or low, it has 2 different meanings. So sometimes people don't understand what you're trying to say because your tone, all right, because of your tone, the words come out differently. Number 2, people understand what you want to say, but not pleasant to listen, not so nice. All right. Let me share with you. I hope some of you don't get offended. All right. When I joined Mekong University, when I went to Ho Chi Minh to meet some of my friends, at that time I was studying Vietnamese language. So when I went to Ho Chi Minh City to meet some of my Vietnamese friends, I tried to speak Vietnamese to them. All right. I try to say that tôi giao when Đại học Cù Long, and then they laugh. And I said, why? What's wrong? Because I know that the university is called Đại học Cù Long, right? But they say, no, you cannot say Cù Long. You must say Cù Long. You see? Then I asked myself, oh, okay. Then they explained to me what is the difference between this word and that word. All right. So when you pronounce wrongly, it becomes unpleasant. A good word suddenly becomes a bad word. Okay. But as a foreigner, yes, they feel sorry for me and they teach me the right word because they know I'm a foreigner. Okay. So if you are a foreigner in an English-speaking environment, if you pronounce wrongly, people will guide you. Those who can speak English will guide you. Okay, sorry if I offended anyone with my kulong. Okay, level 3. People understand you and your English is pleasant, nice to hear. All right, beautiful, like the bird singing in the air. All right, it's a musical. It has the right tone. It has the right dedication, the music flow. All right. If you watch the movie Sound of Music, okay, you will find that the English words, all right, become music to the ears of people who wants to listen. Okay. Any questions so far? No? Okay, I think this is more clear, right? How to improve pronunciation. Pronunciation training is very important part of mastering any language. Whether it's English, whether it is French, whether it is Vietnamese, you need to pronounce. And the only way you can train your pronunciation is by talking to the mirror. Okay? Don't talk for a long time until your family call the mental hospital. Okay, and send you there because you start talking to yourself. Please explain to your family that you are talking to the mirror because you want to improve your English. I don't want your mother and father and husband and wife to think that you already gone crazy. and need medical attention. Okay, please explain to them before you start talking to the wall and the mirror. Okay, when you are carrying out any verbal conversation, then the first impact that influences your listeners is the way of pronunciation. A lot of misunderstandings happen because they don't understand the word you had pronounced. How clearly you pronounce the word and how fluently you speak out sentences is the main thing which can help you seek attention of those many listeners before you. Okay, especially if you are a newscaster, if you are presenting the news in the news on TV, if you don't pronounce well, the listener will not receive the message clearly. Okay, poor pronunciation creates additional barriers in understanding between you and the people you are talking to. So there will be a lot of miscommunication. Okay, even in the Vietnamese language. Okay, any questions so far? No? Why pronunciation is important? By using the correct sound when you speak, others can quickly understand what you are trying to say. If you are great at grammar and know many different words, good pronunciation will help others hear and understand you even more clearly. All right? As I said many times before to many students, Vietnamese English students are very, very good at reading and writing. 100%. When come to listening, 70 to 80% can listen very, very well. But when it comes to speaking, only 5 to 10% can speak well. The rest 90% cannot pronounce some of the words very well. This leads to misunderstanding. Okay, so the more you speak, the better your pronunciation will become, the better your grammar will become, and you can also share with others and help them to improve together with you. Okay? All right. Pronunciation and articulation of words. The way you sound, the way you produce the sound. Okay? How well you can produce the sound. If I say, for example, come here, I'm calling you in a nice way. If I say, come here, it's a different meaning. I am angry and I want you to come here now. All right. If I say, okay, meeting is over, go out, I'm telling in a nice way. If I say go out, I'm saying in an angry tone. So articulation becomes important. All right. You will find that sometimes people will ask you, why are you shouting at me? No, I'm not shouting at you. I'm talking to you. But you sound like you are shouting to me. Your voice is so loud. People misunderstand what you are trying to say. Same word, but because you produce a different sound, misunderstanding occurs. All right? Sentence should be clear, easily understood, and interpreted by others in order to be able to express basic needs and wants right through to being able to understand clearly. Okay? Even messages, even Zalo messages, a lot of Vietnamese like to use short form. Just use abbreviation. All right? One I, one C, and one U. I see you. They don't write I, S-E-E-Y-O-U. They are lazy. They just put I, C, and U. Okay, some of them say GD, good. They don't even have time to write GOOD. They don't have time. All right, a lot of short words, a lot of short letters. All right, just to make their life easy. You don't learn. Especially Miss Giang, if you are writing a research paper, don't use short words, short letters. You need to write a sentence. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Any question? Anybody have any question? Wow. Mr. Tuan, thank you. Huh? Lost again. Okay. Anybody would like to share anything with me? I'm here.
Yeah,
Anyone?
I can share something.
Okay. Good.
I just say the thing that it helped me to improve my pronunciation. That is when the teacher give me like the assignments or something homework. So I just try to read it and try to record, and then I turn it on and listen again, and I just like oh my God, and then it just like 1 or 2 minutes, but I have to work hard. It nearly 1 hour. So I just repeat and record and no, I'm not satisfied with this, so I just read again and record again, and so the best products will be the best. And because I work nearly 1 hour, so the pronunciation will be improved. So I just said the way that my experience that I will improve will be beside the way that you share with us, that we can talk ourselves in front of the mirror. So that's it, just my experience.
Okay. How can we solve this problem? Okay, let me give you an advice. Okay, take out your mobile phone. Okay, look at a passage given to you by the teacher. All right, a passage that may have about 6 to 10 sentences. All right, read the whole passage using your mobile phone voice recorder, and keep this recorder. Listen to this recorder every time you are free, and try to see the next time when you record whether your pronunciation is better than the first time or not. All right. For example, if you are reading a storybook, an English storybook, record your voice on your mobile phone. Listen to the voice recording over and over again for the next few days. All right. And then when you are satisfied, record your voice again on the 4th day, and listen to your voice again, and compare your second voice to your first pronunciation. I'm sure you will find that there is a difference. Okay, so this is one way where you can actually improve on your English, especially your pronunciation. Okay, just by speaking to the mirror 1 day or 1 hour per day will not help you much. But if you keep listening to the recording, whenever you are free, you will find that you are able to understand the sentence better, you are able to understand the passage better, and you are able to communicate with other people much better. Okay. Yes, Miss Tuan.
You call me?
Yes, I call you. I didn't see you earlier. Can you introduce yourself? Wow, you're so happy. I like to see happy people. Yeah, nice to meet you too.
Yes, you look happy too. You know, your face very pleasant.
I'm always happy when I attend to online students.
Yeah. So my name's Maithon, you know, right? So what can I say to you?
Okay. Tell me about yourself.
Okay. I'm 49 years old. Yeah. And
What do
I
you
work.
do?
I do business, garment business, and
Okay. Selling clothes. Selling
selling.
clothes.
Yes, and producing.
Produce.
Clothes. Yes, producing, trading also, and I also do agent.
So you have a
for
boutique. You have a small boutique for yourself.
yes, I have it, and I do wholesale. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and I am my main market in Africa, and America. Yes, and aside beside here, I do like a consultant for education and law.
Wow.
And business. So because like a cooperation, like a combination with 3-in-1 for investor.
Very good. Okay, what do you like about the English language?
Because English is very important to me. It's important just since I just graduated my first university. That time I remember in 2000, in the year 2000, after my university, after graduated, I enter foreign company. Yeah, foreign company, and I gained big salary from it because because of English. So I know English is very important.
I tell this to a lot of my students. If you can speak English well, and if you are earning a little salary, something wrong with you.
Yes. And
what do you don't like about English?
Don't like? No, I like English.
Nothing? You don't like anything? Everything okay? Are you sure?
Actually, English just like a tool for me to do work, to earn for living. And the important thing is I like language. I like speak.
How much of English do you? How much of English do you use when you are with your family?
Actually, before I married a foreigner, so I use it daily. Because like from the year 2000 to 2018, I speak English daily from morning to night with my colleagues in the companies, with my customers, and with my husband.
Colleague. I just mentioned earlier. A lot of Vietnamese like to use the word college. I don't know why they like to use the word college. Colleague.
Yes, college.
So, how much of English do you use when you go out with your friends? Your Vietnamese friends?
Vietnamese. When I meet Vietnamese, I speak Vietnamese. When I meet foreigners, I speak English.
Oh, no. You need to help your friends, Vietnamese friends, speak English too, correct?
Yes, that's why the reason I study more English in Cửu Long University to get the university grade. Because just my target first for my more further study. Secondly,
but you don't need to be a university graduate to speak to your friends in English, right?
That's the second reason. The second reason is I gather all my friends who need English. I open a class to teach them the
Okay.
like conversation, the real English for work, for everything. Yeah, for daily conversation. I
Okay.
have them. Yes.
Okay, very good. How would you rate yourself in the English proficiency?
Pardon?
How would you rate yourself in your English proficiency? 0 to 10.
I think about 6. Yes. Yeah.
You are telling a lie.
Actually, I am English very wide. Very. I mean, lots of words like Vietnamese. Yes. What I can speak now, just what I use daily. But I think that if I want to read more materials for further study, something like that, I can read well all documents. I have to study much, not only the way I speak. Yes.
How do you plan to improve the English of your friends in the future?
With my friends. Okay, because actually they also study a lot, but they don't use it.
Why? Tại sao?
Because of the Vietnamese, but I don't talk about my friend who work in the foreign companies. I just talk about my friend who the current friends. They study a lot. They even work in a high position, but in Vietnam companies. But what they know, they learned just because of their duty. The duty in the educational field, or because of their position, but they don't use it because they don't have chance to practice. They don't have chance to meet foreigners, so how can they speak? That's why I help them, I think.
Okay, I have I have 66 students in the class today.
Wow.
And I only speak English to 3 students. I create an English speaking environment, but 63 students run away.
Why?
I don't know, your class. You must
All
ask
right. That's
you
the
must
reason.
ask your
Yes.
classmate. I don't know the answer.
That's the reason. That's the
I
reason.
don't know. I don't know.
You don't know. I think you know well. But if you want to know more, I will tell you more.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So I think you have a very good teacher for your class. And I think that you all need to speak more English in class. All right.
Okay. Yes.
Among your classmates, I also noticed many of you speak in Vietnamese after class.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I'm sure if after class, among your classmates, if you can start by speaking English,
Okay.
I'm sure all of you can improve,
Okay.
especially on your pronunciation. Like I said earlier, all right, Vietnamese students who attend English classes, they can read and write very, very well, but they cannot speak well. All right. Sometimes
Yeah.
I feel very sad for them. Okay. Vietnamese students spend a lot of money, a lot of time to learn English. But some of them whom I met at Ho Chi Minh City, they tell me that they learn English simply because they want to do their PhD. After
Yes.
PhD, they don't want to use English anymore.
Right.
After spending so much time, so much money, they just focus on completing their PhD. And after PhD, I don't need to use English. So I no need to practice my English. A little bit sad, but I think teacher Trup have been very passionate about the language. She has spent a lot of time. She has written a lot of theses on how to improve English. She has worked with even Kanta University to write a journal, which I've personally read the journal. All right. It's a good example how a Vietnamese can speak English so well if they only practice every day.
Sure.
You don't need to be an expert. This is not rocket science. All right. All you need to do is practice speaking. Among the 50 over students in this class, if every one of you can speak English to each other every day of the week, wake up in the morning, send a good morning message and say, how are you? Have you had your breakfast? I wish you a pleasant day. I wish you a beautiful day. Good enough to start a conversation. But how many of you actually wake up in the morning and send a message to your friends in English and wish them a beautiful day, a wonderful day? I'm sure not many. All right. Many of you will send a message in Vietnamese. Many of you will send a picture in Vietnamese to wish your friends a happy day. Why don't you start writing in English? All right, among your classmates, you got 50 over people in your class to practice English. So there is no reason why there is complaint about a non-speaking English environment. I don't understand. All right, start with 50, then grow the 50 to 100, then grow the 100 to 150. Finally, you have so many people speaking English in your group. Okay? And like I said, if you want to practice pronunciation, voice record on your handphone. Listen to the sentences, listen to the pronunciation, and see how you can make improvements to your pronunciation. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, any questions?
Okay.
Anyone? Anyone have any questions? I'm here. I'm providing you an English speaking environment.
Yeah.
Okay, if you are shy, it's okay. I think you also, like I said earlier, you also have a very good teacher who speaks very good English. All right, so for now, I'd like to say thank you for inviting me. Thank you for having me in the class. All right, I will continue to watch Vietnam versus Malaysia, Southeast Asia Games football.
Yeah.
I
It's
know
SEA
many of
Games.
you.
SEA Games
I know,
32.
yeah. I know many of you missed the SEA Games football today, Vietnam versus Malaysia. I don't know who to support because 50% I'm Vietnamese and 50% I'm Malaysian. So I only
don't know
support
that
the middle.
news. I don't know that news.
Okay.
Okay,
So for
thank
those
you
of-
so much for spending a very valuable time on guiding us how to deal with the strategy to learn pronunciation. Thank you so much. I can learn
Yes.
from you, and my students appreciate you to meet you today and talk with you and learn some great knowledge from Mr. Chuchus.
Okay, good night and thank you for having me. And I hope to see you again. Hẹn gặp lại. Tạm biệt.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you.
Bạn tâm hốt một. Bạn không có hả? Bạn không có hả?
Ủa, hôm nay có bóng đá hả mấy bạn?
Dạ có đang đá á cô.
Không mà cô.
Lại luôn á
Mình
cô.
nghỉ sớm đi cô.
Có cho em thấy cô ơi, còn sao em sợ đứa tay em vô kìa.
Bây giờ bạn đọc bài mấy nè? Cho bằng này thi là mình nghỉ nè.
Ồ, nếu vậy thì mình em vô được hả cô? Để cho nó kia mà.
Cái kiểm tra không cô?
Before
một
you
đi
take
cô.
the exam, I just want to Just want to say something, everyone. Because teacher Schultz and I are friends, so it's easy for him to say yes when I invite him to come to the class. But what a pity that only 3 students turn on the camera and to talk to him. So next time, I think that it will set him to Ho Chi Minh to be the examiner to you. Lớp này chạy trời cũng không hết ha. Không gặp thầy tụi cô sẽ đề nghị lên bên trên đó là cho lên Sài Gòn gác thi mấy bạn nha, học kỳ 2 nha. Thế nào cũng gặp à. Cũng nói à nha. Cho nên chỉ có cách đó là không có chạy đồ thoát hết trường á. Lớp này là nhát nè. Ok.
Dạ cô ơi. Dạ cô cho em phép em xin thi hôm nay luôn dạ. Tại thứ Tư là em cũng có việc.
Đoàn Ngọc Giang nè. Test
Dạ.
nè.
Em là cô.
Bạn nào mà không kiểm tra, để cô thông tin cái này nữa đang cho mấy bạn nghỉ. Bạn nào mà không kiểm tra bây giờ bạn có thể nghỉ được rồi đó. I think that you will tell it. And on Wednesday we will have the midterm test. Nha. Bạn nào mà không kiểm tra bây giờ bạn có thể thoát khỏi Zoom và nghỉ. Ok. Mà mình ôn trong cái review này để thứ Tư mình kiểm tra nha. Yeah, you can start now. Đoàn Ngọc Giang.
Yes, so 1, so 2, but it's a useful pin. It's a useful pin. Pen, please. Pen, please. Look at the yellow pear. Look at the yellow pear. It's an old cap. It's an old cap. What a lollipop. What a lollipop. Do you like puppy? Do you like puppy?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, teacher.
Rồi Mai Thị Thuận luôn nè.
Cô em đọc hả cô?
Yeah.
Dạ. Oh, sorry, wait. Dạ em bắt đầu cô.
Yeah.
Xem hồi hộp dữ. It's a yes pen. It's a yes pen. Pen please. Pen please. Look at the yellow pear. Look at the yellow beer. It's an old cap. It's an old cap. What's a lively pop? What's a lively pop? Pop. Do you like puppy? You like Barbie?
Thank you. Rồi Nguyễn Thị Anh.
Xin đọc. But it's a useful pen. It's a useful bin. Pen, please. Pen, please. Look at yellow pear. Look at yellow bear. It's an old cap. It's an old cap. What's a lollipop? What's a lollipop? Do you like Poppy? Do you like Barbie?
Thank you. Phạm Bùi Thanh Tâm. Cô qua test 2 nha.
Cô cho em thi test 4 được không cô?
Được.
Cảm ơn cô.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Sao 1, sao 2, sir, chờ. We like chips. We like chips. This is a sheep farm. This is a sheep farm. It's a cherry trifle. It's a cherry trifle. I buy this shop. I buy this shop. I couldn't catch it. I couldn't catch it. He watching the television. He watching the television.
Ok. Đã rồi. Dung Phạm là Phạm Dung á hả?
Dạ cô, em đọc luôn bài test 4 nha cô.
Phạm Thị Mỹ Dung phải không bạn?
Dạ đúng rồi cô.
Ok.
Dạ. Sure, sure. We like chips. We like chips. Did you ship from? Did you ship from? It's a cherry trifle. It's a cherry trifle. I'll buy this shop. I'll buy this shop. I couldn't catch it. I couldn't catch it. He's watching television. He's watching television.
Ok. Nguyễn Thị Mỹ Hạnh.
Dạ, cô cho em thi Test 1 mà đoạn văn á.
It's raining in my place now. Chỗ cô đang mới mưa lớn lên đó, mấy bạn nghe giọng cô rõ các bạn đụng lớp nha. Ok.
Em cảm ơn cô. Dạ cho em đọc đoạn văn được không ạ?
Bạn đọc đoạn văn hả bạn?
Test 1 ạ. Dạ.
Dạ. Tại chỗ cô đang mưa á, cho nên cô nghe không rõ nha.
Dạ.
Rồi.
Dạ em đọc ạ. Whose is the names of the top 10 enterprise paying the most tax in Vietnam in 2031? Deputy General Directors of the General Departments of the Sections Phi Văn Tuấn has just announced the list of 1,000 largest corporate income tax payers in 2031. The 1,000, of which the military, industries, and telecommunications groups details is the one paying the largest corporate income tax, largest tax, phrase number 1. Cảm ơn cô.
Long Thị Bích Thủy.
Dạ cô cho em thi test 4 được cô.
Yeah. Okay.
Dạ em. Sao 1, sao 2, sở chờ, wildlife ship, wildlife ship, wildlife ship. This is a ship farm. This is a ship farm. It's a cherry triple. It's a cherry triple. I buy the shop. I buy the shop. I could catch it. I couldn't catch it. He watching the television. He watching the television. Dạ.
Thank you. Phạm Anh Tuấn. Yeah. Ok. Phú Hồng.
Dạ, cô cho em thi
Dạ,
test
Phú
4
Hồng
đi.
đọc test số mấy nè?
Dạ, test 4 luôn cô.
Ok.
Dạ. Sao 1, sao 2, We like chips. We like chips. This a sheep farm. This is a sheep farm. It's a cherry typhoon. It's a cherry typhoon. I'll buy this shop. I'll buy this shop. I couldn't catch it. I couldn't catch it. He's watching the television. He's watching the television.
Very good.
Thank you, sir.
Đoàn Nhật Tân. Đoàn Nhật Tân đọc test số mấy nè?
Cô em đọc test số 4.
Ok, let's go. Bắt đầu đi bạn.
Sir. Sir. We like sheep. We like sheep. We like sheep. This is a sheep farm. This is a sheep farm. This is a cherry triple. This is a cherry triple. I beat this shop. I beat this shop job. I couldn't catch it. I couldn't catch it. He watching the television. He watching television.
Ok, thank you. Rồi bạn mình đã số 13 khoa NT, KT gì đó là bạn tên gì nè? Ok, Quỳnh Như please.
Dạ thưa cô cho em đọc test 4 luôn ạ.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. We like chips. We like chips. This is a sheep farm. This is a sheep farm. It's a cherry trifle. It's a cherry trifle. We'll buy this shop. We'll buy this shop. I couldn't catch it. I couldn't catch it. He watching the television. He watching the television.
Thank you. Phúc Hưng. Phúc Hưng đọc nè.
Dạ, cô cho em đọc cái test 1 đó cô, test 1 nha cô. Dạ cảm ơn cô. Test 1 cô ạ. Test 1. Dạ cô. Sao 1, sao 2, It you been, pen please, look at the yellow piece, It's on our cup, What a lively pup, what a lively pup. Do you like puppy?
Thank you. Ngọc Hà.
Dạ em đọc test 1 luôn nha cô.
Ok.
Sao 1, sao 2, per. It's a useful bean. Ben, please. Look at the yellow bear. It's an old cap. What's a lively pup? Do you like puppy?
Thank you. Thu Thủy.
Dạ thưa cô, cho em thi test 4 đi ạ.
Yeah.
Dạ.
Right.
Yes. So 1, so 2, sure. We like chips. This is a sheep farm. It's a cherry trifle. I will buy this shop. I couldn't catch it. He's watching the television.
Good.
Yes, thank you.
Lê Chí Cường.
Dạ, em đọc test 4 luôn cô ạ.
Ok.
Sao 1, sao 2, sure. We like sheep. This is a sheep farm. It's a cherry table. I will buy a shop. I will buy this job. I couldn't catch it. He's watching the television.
Yeah. Phạm Hoàng Hạnh.
Dạ em đọc test 3 đó cô, phần đoạn văn đó cô. Dạ em xin đọc phần đoạn văn ạ. In his free time, Jeff loves to go bicycling. After many hours in the office, he wants exercise. So on weekends, he goes for long bicycle rides. He works just a few miles from home. Sometimes he rides for a few hours and sometimes he rides all day. Some of his friends also ride bicycles. They often ride their bicycle together. The doctor says Jeff is very healthy and has very strong legs.
Very good. Trần Thị Kim Sào.
Dạ cho em đọc test 4 ạ. Dạ, sao 1, sao 2, sure. We like sheep. This is a sheep farm. It's a cherry triple. I buy this shop. I couldn't catch it. He watching the television.
Ok. Nguyễn Thị Hà.
Xong rồi.
Cô ơi, cho em đọc test 4 luôn ạ.
Ok.
How to? Sure. We like sheep. This is a sheep farm. It's a cherry trifle. I will buy this shop. I could catch it. She watching the television. He watching the television.
Thank you.